Commence primary ignition.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello. Happy Monday, Rebels.
Happy Monday, everybody. Look who we found. We got Mark back.
I'm back from Bermuda, burned and busted. I had a great time, though. It was a fantastic trip. Thank you for holding down the fort, Ashlee and Jamie and Jeff and everyone.
No problem.
I'm coming back on a great day, though, because we have got a fantastic show for tonight. As you can see to this direction, we have a very special guest joining us tonight. She is Julie Dolan, Princess Leia herself. We have a princess on Lethal tonight.
Yes.
Ashlee.
Oh my gosh.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I just love learning about, how people get into the business and how they get involved with such a project like Star Wars. So I'm totally stoked for this interview.
Yeah. How does Star Wars find someone? How does someone
Yes.
find Star Wars? That is the age-old question, and we're going to get some of those questions answered tonight. Thank you for everyone who actually sent over questions to us on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I hear recently on Threads, I'm on a boat on my way to Bermuda, and I hear Threads is announced in the best way possible. I see that Mark Zuckerberg is going to fight Elon Musk, and I was like, what the hell is happening? And that was how I learned that there is a new social networking site. So we will be on Threads very soon, apparently. But for now, continue to follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and we're going to bring on Julie in just a minute, which we're very excited about. Before we do that, we have a clip package for you, man. If you are familiar with Julie Dolan, only from her appearance on Rebels, you're missing out on all of her other Star Wars activities. She is expansive in this giant universe. So I think we need to roll the tape and then get her on here and ask her, how did she do all this? Because there's a lot. So, Jeff, take it away and show us everything from Julie Dolan.
I am Princess Leia of Alderaan. We've placed a rebel spy vital to the survival of the rebellion into your starspeeder. You must see him safely delivered to the coordinates I'm transmitting to your R2 unit. This is our most desperate hour. Help me start tours. You're my only hope.
This is Princess Leia Organa. I look forward to it, Lieutenant. End transmission. Well, there's no turning back now. I know who you are. You're Ezra Bridger. I heard your transmission.
Yeah, my parents heard it too. But they're gone now.
I'm sorry.
It's just, there's so much against us. Do you ever wonder
if this fight is even worth it? Every day. But I'm still here.
But you're a princess. You don't have to risk your life doing this.
I feel like because I can fight, I have to, for those who cannot. And I think you might be the same way. Those defenses are formidable. Why? Because the Empire doesn't underestimate you. They know how good you are.
We might be able to get one out, but we'll never get all three.
I know you need those ships, so don't tell me why we can't get them. Tell me how we will.
Well, Kanan and I still have our disguises, so we can get onto the platform. But to get close to the ships, we'll need a distraction.
I can handle that.
Star Wars The Force Awakens on Disney Infinity 3.0.
Hello, Han. I see you're in the thick of it. Just like old times.
Leia? How did you...
They have their spies, and we have ours. Right, 3PO?
Certainly.
We've received the information from BB-8. If we can decipher it, there may still be hope to find Luke.
What about the lights we saw above Takodana?
The First Order's new weapon. Built within the core of a planet. They call it the Star Killer. We are still determining how it is powered.
It's powered by the energy drained from a system sun.
And you would be?
His name's Finn, and he's the guy that rescued me. So what we saw was a weapon firing?
I'm afraid so.
What did it hit?
The Hosnian system. The seat of the galactic government is gone. Obliterated. What's more, our actions have revealed our command center here. We believe we are the next target. Our plan is to send a small team to infiltrate the base and destroy the weapon before more lives are lost.
Leia Organa. Emperor Palpatine is dead. He and a second Death Star battle station were destroyed by Alliance forces earlier today. This does not mark the end of the Empire. Claim your freedom and your future.
There goes our rear deflector.
Don't worry, Luke. Those two A-Wings will protect us. That one A-Wing. Okay, so it's just us. Push it full throttle. I'll get rid of anyone dumb enough to follow. That doesn't sound good.
It's not. We need repairs fast, and there's only one place within range.
His family doesn't need trouble with the rebellion, and we really don't need trouble with the Empire.
Wait. If you hide us from the Empire, I'll pay you 5 times the cost of our repairs.
5 times? Let me crunch some numbers. That's like 5 times as much!
Help us, Freemaker Salvage and Repair. You're our only hope.
Ooh, you are really good at that.
Did you take the scenic route?
Sorry. We had no choice.
Well, it's not the first time I've escaped through a garbage chute, but hopefully it's the last.
She told me strange stories. Like how she and her mother had escaped from some sort of facility. And how she wasn't sad because her mother had just returned to their planet.
Their planet, huh? Yeah, that sounds about right.
I didn't understand any of it at the time. When I asked if she meant one in the sky, she said no. This one, right here. I mean, what can you say to that?
Welcome, Julie.
Hello.
That's amazing. I got chills. I like legit chills. That was so good.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome.
Everyone in the chat, please welcome Julie Dolan. We are so
Mwah.
happy to have you. Thank you. Great to see you again.
Yeah,
It's been
you
so
too.
long. It's been
Yeah.
so long in some ways because it's pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, right? We saw each other, I think, at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019. And so
Yep.
it's almost like BC AD in some ways. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
it's crazy.
BBY, ABY, you know.
It is. It's BBY, ABY.
BC before COVID, yes.
Yeah. Oof. I feel like we're finally out of it. And hopefully that means that some of the amazing adventures you were on beforehand will continue into the future. And we're going to get to all of those. But for
Yeah.
everyone in the chat who's just joining, you obviously recognize Julie from A Princess on Lethal, her 1-episode stint on Star Wars Rebels. But hopefully that little clip package will get you to check out some of the other content she's done from Star Wars. Because you've been through, it was Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is super fun.
So fun.
Lego Freemakers, which is hilarious.
Right.
That show still makes me
Yeah.
laugh all the
Yeah.
time. It makes me crack
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And
Yeah, the writing on
Star-
that show is great.
unbelievable. Everything Lego does, it's just so funny. I thought Summer Vacation was amazing. And then I think that the funniest one is Star Tours. Help Me Star Tours, You're My Only Hope is hysterical.
Yeah.
Those are
They
good
they
stuff.
specifically said to me, now don't try to say it as passionate as Leia said it in the movie, but just make it a little bit lighter and a little bit more, just a little quip. So
Right.
yeah.
And that's very Carrie too. She always had a little bit of edge. Like I could see her doing a parody of that. She does it in 30 Rock. So good stuff. Which that brings us to the first question I think everyone would probably want to know. How did you become Princess Leia? I know you've been in the business for a very long time, and I want to talk about your early start in acting and everything. But tell us specifically about your first time playing Leia. How did that all come together and everything?
Well, I had just started voice acting maybe 3 years before that. I was an on-camera actress, a child actor, and I did a lot of costume character work for theme parks and for TV shows and things. So they would always ask me to do a little voice. Oh, sure, I can do that. And my sister said, you keep booking all these voiceover jobs. Why don't you at least do some voiceovers or get a voiceover agent or invest in classes? And I said, that's a whole other career. And I was a dancer. I'm focused on my dancing and I'm focused on acting. And finally I said, all right, I'm going to take a voiceover class. So I took a voiceover class and did a voiceover demo, immediately got an agent and started booking commercials, like for TV, like OnStar. I was the OnStar operator for Tiger Woods and Jeff Gordon and Walmart and PetSmart. I just started doing all of these commercials. And one day my agent emailed me and said, can you sound like Princess Leia from A New Hope? And now I haven't seen that movie since 1977. And I said, no. And they sent me the Obi-Wan Kenobi speech. But the words were changed a little bit. Now, we had no idea what this was for. They don't tell you anything. So I listened to it, and how I voice match is I will listen to the copy and I'll say it along with the recording. And then I'll back it up and do it again, and I'll try to match the pitch. I'll try to match the emotion. I try to match the rhythm. I try to match it so it sounds like one person. And I had my husband come in. I said, do I sound like this? Am I even close? And he said, well, you got to drop your voice a little bit. She's got a deeper voice than you do. Mm-hmm. And so he coached me a little bit, and I recorded this little speech and I sent it in, and then you don't hear anything. Well, I didn't get it.
Oh my goodness.
And then my agent called and said, you have a callback. Now, in voiceovers, it's rare to get a callback. You just either book the job or you don't. Mm-hmm. So they had me go into Disney Imagineering in Burbank with 3 other girls. And they had a voice coach there, Eliza Jane Schneider. And she coached us on that sort of slight English accent that Leia had, the emotional investment about what Leia was talking about. We still didn't know what this was for. So she coached me and I did the speech. And as I walked out of the booth, they had a hologram of Leia from Star Tours or A New Hope, mm-hmm. when she was doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Obi-Wan Kenobi speech, except her mouth was manipulated to say the words that I just recorded, and my voice was coming out. And I looked up at this and I said, is that me or is that Carrie Fisher? They said, no, that's just you. That's just what you just recorded.
Wow.
That's when I went, okay, I do sound like her. Mm-hmm. And then you go home and of course you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
And then weeks later, and what I found out was they auditioned 200 girls and they just didn't find what they wanted. And then they brought in Carrie. And because her voice had gotten a little bit deeper, she didn't sound like herself from A New Hope. Mm-hmm. So they auditioned 200 more girls, and I was in that group. And they narrowed it down, and that's when they called me and said, you got the part.
Wow.
So I went back in, and it wasn't that long later after I found out I got it that I went back into the booth. So the voice, the rhythm, the pitch, it was still in my body. Mm-hmm. And I did it maybe once or twice, and we were like, okay, we're done. You still had it. I'm like, okay, amazing. Can you tell me what this is for?
Yeah.
They finally told me it was for.
Yeah, and also let me do it 5 times just in case. Like let's get it on recording. Yeah. And then they told you what it was for.
And then they told me it was for the Star Tours ride that they were rebuilding at Disney World and Disneyland and Paris and Japan.
That's amazing.
And then they once it was finished, they invited my agent and I to the opening of it, and we went in and sat in the the little ship, and I was so nervous. And when the hologram came up, I thought, oh my God, that sounds like me. That doesn't sound anything like her. And of course, the people around me were like, "Oh my God, that's Carrie. Is that her voice?" And I thought, "Okay,
Hmm.
I just got justified. That's it.
Yep.
Okay. I feel okay now." And that was the first Leia job that I got, and nothing came about until maybe 2014 or 15. Dave Filoni actually saw Star Tours and said, "Who is that? We have to get her." So they brought me in to a studio in Hollywood to do, I don't know, he said it was an in-house project for Lucas. And I had dots all over my face, and we were doing some kind of motion capture, and I
Mhm.
had a, yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
That's crazy cool.
And yeah, and they put a helmet on me, and they put a script in front of me, because when you're doing voice acting, you don't have to memorize anything.
Hmm.
And he said, "You're doing a scene with R2D2 and C3PO," and he goes, "So I need your eye line to be up and then down." And I said, "Oh, so I need to memorize this right now." So I memorized just a couple lines. I I honestly think they just wanted to see if I could act, because
Hmm.
they heard my voice, but they wanted to see if I was able to interact.
Hmm.
So I did the scene, um, and he said, "Okay, I'll let you know when you're going to be coming in for Rebels." And my agent's mouth dropped. She was in the booth, and
Yeah.
I said, "I think I got it. I'm not sure." So that's when I knew that I was going to be working on Rebels.
Yeah. That's
That's so
Yeah.
amazing.
cool.
And did you know that we would still be talking about Rebels in the year 2023?
No.
After the show had been on for 4 seasons and is now 5 years off the air, and that
Yeah.
Rebels is more prevalent than ever, right? It's kind of amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it changed my life, with regards to booking more Leia jobs and the convention circuit. I
Hmm.
never, I'd never even been to a convention. I didn't even know what cosplay was. And yeah, so I started
Cool.
doing conventions and meeting all the fans and talking stories about Star Wars, and it was just, it's like I have a whole new family
Yeah. I
anywhere I go,
Ashley
anywhere.
talks about that all the time, the chosen family aspect of Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a cohesive group all over the world. You
It's
know,
incredible.
yeah. So, and it's still changing my life. I mean, I'm still doing, now that 2020 is over. I've done some conventions and signings and things like that. They've slowed down a little bit, but
Mhm.
that's okay.
And I think we're all still trying to get back to that. Like, what does the
Yeah,
convention circuit look like in the year 2023? There can't be nearly as many
right.
as there were in 2017, 18, 19. I feel like we were in
Oh
like a
no.
peak. Like, I feel like everyone I knew in 2019 and was on the road 50 weeks a year, even when they
Yeah.
were
Oh my
working
gosh.
in media projects, right? And then
Yeah.
somehow they're filming and it's funny to think now when 2020 hit and everything stopped, just how busy everyone was. And we have not gotten back to that same level. And I hope we
Right.
never do in some ways, unless people are specifically in need of that money for real need, not want. Like, I really hope that everyone chose to slow down and is being more choiceful about all the things they do,
Yeah.
conventions included. I'm going to fewer and I'm keeping it that way, at least in the short term.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Speaking of conventions and activities and everything, and in 2019 you were on the road, and we're going to come back to more voice stuff, and I want to ask more about your acting and everything in a bit.
mhm.
You and the ladies of Leia were on the loose in the
My
year
girls, they're my
2019.
girls.
Yes.
This group right here, I've met several I've met all of them except for Misty. Tell us who everyone in this photo is for everyone watching.
The one, Misty Lee is who I'm holding on to. In the back with the hat is Shelby Young, and the other hat with the darker hat is Anna Graves, and then of course Kat Tabor.
Yeah, amazing set of women, all of whom we will be sending links to for Daughters of the Galaxy, to watch our show and check us out. Tell us how you guys all found each other, and then what motivated you to create this like dynamic group, and what are some of the adventures you had together during this crazy time?
Well, it started And by the way, I talked to them today, and I told them about tonight, and so they all know about the show.
We
So
love
they may
all of
even be
them.
here. Yeah.
If you're in there, hello to all of you. I've met all of you, almost all of you. Misty is the one I'm missing, but I know she signed autographs for us at Tops. So she
Yes,
exists in the
yes.
Tops sphere, which is
Right.
great. So hi, everyone. Hi, ladies of Leia.
Yes. Yeah, we all sat around when we all got Topps trading cards at the same time. I think it was 2 years ago, and we said, let's get together and sign together. I'm like, how are we going to sign 500 photos? Who's got a big enough table for that?
Yeah.
So we sort of did a Zoom with each other, and we did it virtually so we could still be together. But it started out with Misty. After Shelby did Destiny, Forces of
Forces of
Destiny,
Destiny. Yeah.
Shelby reached out to all of us and said, I know we don't know each other, but we've all voiced Leia. Want to have lunch? So we
Oh, that's
did.
so cool. Yay.
And we just hit it off. And we started doing lunches and dinners. And we bonded with each other. We would do, Misty is a magician, and she worked at the Magic Castle.
Wow.
And so we went and saw her perform, and I do plays. So they all came and saw me. Anna is a singer. We went and saw her. I mean, we just love each other and support each other.
Mhm.
And then we started doing, somebody asked, hey, you want to do this little, we never did conventions together, but we did some appearances together and some like that. It's
Oh,
a
the
perky
perky
nerd.
nerd. Yeah, I love
Yes.
her.
And so we did some things like that together. And we always wanted to do, we actually pitched ourselves for Star Wars Celebration, but
I
they
remember
said,
this.
yeah, we only have so many tables, and we want to get really the stars that are currently, hey, I get it. So we were
I
like,
had
okay, well,
I had a plan in 2020 because what I wanted to do was have a Ladies of Leia table, and each of the days we were gonna swap you in and out, like because you're all in LA, so it would have been a day trip or whatever, like no
Yeah.
flight, no hotel, pop in for the day, and let's make sure that you're all there at once for at least one big photo op. Like we'll pick what is it? Celebration's a 4-day show. We'll do the Friday. All 6 of you are there. And then you're on your way. It's a 1-day thing, right? And Friday is Ladies of Leia Day. That would have been easy to do. Actually,
that
one
would
of
have
the
been
things I
great.
wanted to do with all of the voice actors who are in LA, I wanted to have like a day where we can swap people in and out and maximize the number of people. That would have been great. So I was
Yeah.
hoping for that to happen. It needs to happen somewhere. If there's anyone with any connection to a convention, these women book individually. They will crush it if they show up together.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then of course 2020 happened, and we we did virtual meetings. We did Zoom meetings with each other
Yeah,
just to keep in contact. Yeah.
that's amazing.
So that's how that happened, and it'll be a lifelong friendships.
I feel like that's the big lesson of Star Wars too. That's so Ashlee and I worked together very briefly at Tops. I shouldn't say briefly, a few years before then I
Yeah.
moved on, and she's still doing cards for them.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
yes, there we go,
You do
amazing.
your
Love it.
cards.
This is
Love
so
it.
cool. Um, and they're signing for Masterwork and for High Tech, and you were in the Women of Star Wars set, which came out in March of 2020. And Ashley and I joke about this all the time. We could not have even made that trading card set before the year
Definitely
2020.
not.
There like weren't
Yeah.
enough female characters. It's wild.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
wow.
the amount of women and female characters that I got to pull from to draw on these sketch cards. It was just like a dream come true. So,
Oh,
and of course, anything from Rebels I can get my hands on, including Leia, like I have to throw them on a card immediately. And it was just really awesome to have you be a part of it and to have all
thank
these
you.
fantastic women be represented in such a cool set. So,
Yes, yes. So yeah, I'm still signing for Tops.
Excellent.
Till
awesome.
this year. So we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad. And then,
Oh,
yeah, look at this. This is one of my favorite photos. I know Shelby came
Love
to
it.
visit that same convention as well. This is San Diego Comic-Con 2019, which we're a week away from San Diego 2023, which I can't believe.
Oh
And
my
I'm still
gosh.
attending, not with Tops, with with Ruby's De Nuevo Novo this year. I'll be there with helmets and all sorts. I'm still a Star Wars licensee. I always joke when they pull you in, it's a tractor beam. And you're just stuck and you can't escape. And you don't want to, but even if you wanted to, you can't. So I'll be there again, and I'm hoping to run into some other people from like our larger fandom and other actors and whoever else are going to be. I don't know who's going to be there, frankly, at San Diego. It's a weird show this year with Warner not being there, with Marvel kind of not being there. And there's potentially the strike. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, so it's a strange year for pop culture for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any? You did say you might have some conventions and other events popping up later this year. Anything on the immediate
Well,
agenda?
that's the announcement I was going to make. I'm in Atlanta now. I moved to Atlanta.
Oh, when was that?
Yeah. January of 2021.
Okay, so you've been there a little while now.
2022. 20. I can't remember. No, it was 22 because I had a gig with my all-female Aerosmith band the night before in January, and the next day I loaded my car up with my dog and my girlfriend, and we drove across country and drove to Atlanta. So it was 2022. So I've been here a year and a few months.
Nice, and you're liking it down there.
I love it down here. I just got asked to appear in a Star Wars panel at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yay!
So I'm gonna see you there.
No way. Okay, so this is breaking news to me. This is a surprise.
Yeah.
Yes, I will see you there. I will find you. Wait, so tell everyone about what this panel is, because I haven't heard anything about
Yeah, that
Star Wars
sounds
panel.
exciting.
It's Friday at 4:00, and it's called Star Wars Past, Present, and Future. And they've got Spencer. Let me see. I wrote his name down.
So that's Spencer Wilding, who plays Darth Vader.
Yes, yes.
I know.
And
I
then
can go by first
Leilani.
names. Oh,
You know him?
Yolani, yeah.
She's going to be there, and Gigi Edgley from Farscape is also on the panel.
Yeah.
And Christian Ganeer, who's on Stranger Things. And they may have more people that show up, but we're the ones that are listed. And so I'm flying in Thursday. I'm going to go to the convention, get my badge, and then just walk around and kind of check things out. So you let me know where you are.
Yes,
Mark,
absolutely.
and then I will find you. And Shelby is going to be there as well. So she and I are going to hook up. I haven't seen the girl. I haven't seen my girls since I moved.
That's incredible. Oh, well, I'm gonna meet. All right, so Shelby's amazing. She also came to the booth and has signed for us at Tops, and she's the sweetest. And she's apparently now the ringleader. Since you're telling me that she's the one who connected all of you guys. That's incredible.
No, Misty
did. Okay, Misty's the one who emailed saying let's get together. All right.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about you guys being there. That's incredible news.
Yeah.
I will DM you and email you. We're going to be at the Duno Novo booth 4049. I'll be there the whole time. I arrive on Tuesday and I stay through the Sunday night red eye into Monday. It's it's like a week-long experience at San Diego. Ashley can tell you she's exhibited at San Diego.
This is my first year not doing it, probably in the last, obviously COVID, but like the last 5 or 6 years. And I'm going to miss it, but I really hope you guys get a chance to meet up and have fun.
Yeah.
And this panel sounds amazing. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
And Spencer Wilding plays Darth Vader, so you guys definitely need to get a picture together.
Okay, that's great.
That's the connectivity there. I have my Rebels poster. Damn it, I can never point on this thing. It's always mirrored. That's my Rebels poster of like the whole cast, or not the whole cast, but I'm building a cast piece, so I've got to add you to that. So I may bring that with me to get signed.
Bring it. Yeah.
And then yeah, that's so exciting. So the panel, you said did you say it was Thursday?
It's Friday.
Friday.
I fly in Thursday, and I do the panel Friday at 4:00 in room 7AB, I think it is. And then I go to the sales pavilion to do a signing for an hour.
Very nice. Okay, so
and then I leave Saturday.
Yeah. Excellent. So everyone, if you're at San Diego Comic-Con, signings are one of those things at Comic-Con that I feel like get overlooked sometimes because people are looking for the panels, the big panels in like Hall H. There's so many good autograph signings that happen in San Diego.
Exactly.
So everyone be on the lookout for Julie after she's done with the panel on Friday. So we'll make sure we put all that on our fan page. One of the things we do, our group is very focused on real life connectivity, which was hard during COVID, obviously. Like our group started as celebration, the actual convention celebration, a way for people to connect at the show. And we try to extend that when it's not just a celebration, but all conventions, all activities, and keeping the fandom together. And that's why we have programs too. So we're on air, a few nights a week with various shows. We try to bring in actors and other people who've worked on the projects to talk to and announce things like this. So now everyone's going to have to add you to their Comic-Con on agenda. I know we have numerous people from the group who are going to be going. So
Oh, good,
we'll
good.
have
I'm going to be
something.
bringing one of these, a lot of these, and a bunch
I
of
love those.
photos.
Yeah.
So,
Very nice.
Ashley, I heard that you said you were going to buy one, and it was like too expensive. I get it totally. And
Yeah,
then
you know those con flippers, like crazy money. Come on.
I know. And then you found it at like Target or something. And so I have to tell you, my husband bought out Walmart. He found these at
Wow.
Walmart and bought all of them.
Good
So
for
I have a
him.
bunch of them. Yes, because you never know, they're going to stop making them at
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
point.
Especially
know.
when it was Rebels merchandise, there was hardly enough
Right.
There's hardly enough Rebels merchandise, and there's hardly enough merchandise of any female character. Full stop. So you're in the intersection of both of those things. So it was the same thing. Like when my niece was born, I bought all those Forces of Destiny things. I was like, I don't know if this
Right.
is going to continue, and it's a moment in time, and like this is the perfect thing. Get them. So
Yeah.
she has the whole
Yeah.
collection.
Yeah, good.
All right, so I want to pivot away from Star Wars for a second because believe me, I could do that all day.
Mhm.
You mentioned at the very top of the interview that you've been a working actor since you are 9 years old. So
Right.
tell us,
I was a
how did
child actor.
amazing? How did you get started? What were you doing? I want to hear all about the mascotting, by the way, because that sounds intense and insane.
Oh my
Like,
Right.
yes.
God.
So give us from the beginning up until you found Star Tours and became our princess.
Well, I think it was 3 or 4 years old. I saw Shirley Temple on television, and I said to my mom, "That's what I want to do." So she put me in dance class at 4 years old, and I was a dancer all the way till, I mean, professional dancer till I was 2003 or 4. And I'll tell you what kind of things I did. But I started taking acting classes when I was 9, got an agent, started going on auditions. Um, and I didn't book a lot. I went on audition after audition after audition. And we're talking like for Karate Kid. And I was up against Elizabeth Shue and Helen Hunt and all
Wow.
of these great actresses. And I would get callbacks and get close. And it's between you and her. And they would go with the other person. Until I was 19, I booked my first national commercial with Barry Pearl, who was in Grease, the movie Grease. He played Duty or Dookie or Duty or something like that. Anyway, and then I started booking at ABC after school specials. I did a ton of those ABC after school specials and episodics and things like that. And then you get to a certain age and then you don't work anymore. And then until you're too old to play the kid, but you're too young to play the mom. So you have to wait. So I just waited it out, but I was also dancing. So I got a job at Universal Studios theme park in Hollywood, and they were doing American Tail, Five Goes West, or American Tail. It was Steven Spielberg directed it, and he came to the screening or the opening of the show, and I played a dancing mouse. For years, I was at Universal, and I did all different kinds of shows at Universal, Rocky and Bullwinkle and the Flintstones, but I'm all in costume. You never see my face. And that led to a couple of kid TV series on ABC and Lifetime, where I played a dancing giraffe, and also you're acting because you have a voice actor in behind the scene, and you have a mechanism in your hand, and you're making your mouth move. So the voice actor, and at this time I never even thought about voice acting. The voice actors would watch the screen. They have the script in front of them, and they would do our voice, and we would do all the action and all the singing and all the dancing, but they were doing the voice. And then I played a dancing pig in another TV show. And then I got Beverly Hills Cop 3. And how that came about was we were at Universal, we were in shows, and they also have walk around characters that they don't dance, they don't do a show, but they take pictures with the guests. And George Lucas came to the park, and or John Landis, it was John Landis who came to the park and said, I want all of these walk around characters in Beverly Hills Cop 3. It's taking place in a theme park, so why don't we use everybody here? So they hired a bunch of us to walk around. And I thought, he does not know that we can dance in these big clocky shoes and this big head. So I don't know how I did this, but I set up a meeting with John Landis, and I brought one of my other dancers with me, and I said, I'm going to teach you a routine. We're going to put on our little pig outfits, and we're going to show him that we can dance in this. So we did the dance, and he said, all right, I'm writing a new scene, and I want to hire a choreographer. We're going to have Eddie Murphy dancing with these characters on stage. So that's how that scene came
That's
about.
amazing.
And it's you take a risk, and you just don't know what can come of it. I'm still getting residuals for that movie.
That's
And
incredible.
it's crazy. It's just,
So good.
you're scared to do it because you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm overstepping my my role here, and I shouldn't be setting up a meeting with John Landis. Who the heck do I think I am? I'm just this little dancer at Universal. But I thought I have to. The idea came to me, and I just said, if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it.
Mhm.
If I
Exactly.
do it, who knows? He could say no.
Yeah.
And it
That's the
worked
worst that
out.
can happen, right? They
Yeah,
say no.
exactly.
Oh, well, I could have gotten fired from Universal for saying,
Oh.
"How dare you go above us?" I mean, I don't know. But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Our managers from Universal set the meeting up. They said, "Okay, we'll set something up for you."
That's killer. I feel like it's a good lesson too of like take the swing, you know. Oh, did I lose you?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm still there.
Oh, all right. Julie's volume dropped for a second, but she is still there. We see her. We'll get it sorted in a second. We didn't accidentally mute her. Oh wait. All right. It looks like you're muted.
Oh, her
Oh, your
earpiece
ears
went
went
out.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
No worries. We will while Julie is fixing her ears, do yourself a favor and pull up her IMDb page. She's got some really interesting stuff on here.
Yeah.
Including she was in The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which is very cool. You can see down at the bottom pulling up the after school specials, which now I want to go in and see what they were because those
Oh
were
my
wild.
gosh. Yeah,
I'm
they
the right
were.
age for those because I was born in 1981, and so I remember as those were on the air as I was a little bit older. The kind of don't do
Hey,
drugs.
we're back.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, good, perfect.
Are we
Are you
back? But
able
I
to-
can't
yes.
hear you.
Can you not hear me?
No, I can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Not hear you. Internal speakers, sound preferences. Well, I'll just have to keep talking.
Oh boy, we're good with that.
Yeah, I don't hear you guys at all. Let me
Jeff,
go to settings.
Yeah, Jeff, if you can we
It's
type
fun.
privately
Audio.
to help sort that?
And I'm going to test.
Okay, private chat. Yep.
Yeah, I think the private chat should work for all of
Defaults.
us.
Okay.
Are you
Private chat.
there?
Yep.
Yep. Can you not hear
I
us?
have lost your. Interesting.
Oh, weird. Tell us
Very
about
strange.
the.
This is the first. I
Let
don't
me go
know.
back
Yeah.
to audio. Let's see. Tell us about. Oh, you're texting it to me.
I wonder if the audience can hear me or us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't get it. All right, I will.
I'm seeing the.
So yeah, text it to me.
Okay.
After school specials. The first one I did was called "She Drinks a Little." It's about an alcoholic parents. And hi.
Earbuds in case.
My earbuds. My husband's talking me through why I can't hear. The earbuds have died, but I can't hear them on the speaker.
Right, they're still connected.
No.
Oh
No,
yeah.
it says
Give me the other one.
it's in my ear. Oh God, it's in
still
my
connected.
ear. No, but it's okay. Well, I might be able to hear you in a couple seconds.
Okay. No problem.
Nope. Internal speakers. Nope. Anyway, so thank you though. So that was the first one I did, and I just played a girl whose parents were alcoholics, and we were sitting in a group meeting and had to talk about that. The next one I did was called First the Egg, and it was with Bateman, not Jason.
Justine,
his sister, and from Family Ties.
Justine.
Yes, Justine Bateman, and Jimmy McNichol, Christy McNichol's brother, was in that. I'm still going to try to hear you if I can. So that was, and
Yeah, I can't figure it out. We had to take care of a little egg, and that was our baby. So we had to treat it as if it was a baby. And I found out that a lot of schools took that assignment because they wanted them to care for children. They wanted to see how well they could care for like a pet or something. So it was an egg. It was crazy. I'm still going to try to hear you guys.
Yeah, this would be hard to
'Cause I
do
miss
without.
you.
Yeah, I know, same. I'm wondering
Default
now if the
internet,
audience.
internal microphone, built-in speakers. Once. Nope.
Can anyone in the chat help us? Any one of our
I don't
fans
know.
who knows how to use
All right.
StreamYard well?
Ask me another
Oh.
question.
Yeah.
Ashlee, do you have
I
one?
wonder if I log out and log back in, if that would work.
Yeah, let's try that.
You can try that real
Do you
quick.
think?
Yeah, try that quick. Yeah.
Could be.
Okay, I'm going to try that really quick. I'll be right back.
All
I'm
right.
gonna switch the background while she's
Turn off the
gone.
Bluetooth. You might be connecting to Bluetooth something.
No?
Ooh, we're moving.
I don't want to juggle you guys while she's gone.
I gotcha. Yeah, no
while
worries.
we're waiting for Julie to come back, no one leave, please, because
Yeah.
Julie is awesome. We still want to talk about a few different things on here, including her music career.
Yes.
As you heard her drop very quickly, she is part of an all-female Aerosmith band.
That's awesome.
And trust me that I have questions. So
Yeah, as a
and
Massachusetts resident, I approve.
yes, mostly the question is, tell us about that. So it's
Oh,
really like I
David
wanna
has
hear
a really
everything.
awesome question in the chat about her time on Cowboy Bebop and whether she knew Steve Bloom and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who of course play Zeb and Governor Price on Rebels before joining Rebels.
Yep. Tell us about that. Yeah, we're
we'll
typing
ask
all
her.
this into the private chat. I know I saw Cowboy Bebop on there, and I was like, I wonder if she knows Steve and Mary Elizabeth. Tell us about that experience.
Now I wonder if she played one of the bounty hunters, because that was a pretty big gig.
Oh, and
or
I hear you.
you hear you. Excellent.
let's make sure we're all in the right place.
Oh.
Okay, I'll be the host.
There we go.
Now we're fixed.
Great.
My husband always says, whenever I have a problem with the computer, he says, turn it off.
Yeah.
He's wise.
Hello, IT.
So, yeah.
The perfect solution.
Right.
So, the first movie I did was with Timothy Hutton. I was playing like a 16-year-old. I played a lot of hookers. I don't know why.
I mean, the
but
pulp
I
of the
had made
episode.
a living. I was on the Conan show. They would always bring me in with their little skits that they do. I was their resident hooker. I played a hooker on Without a Trace. I played a hooker on. I mean, I made a living at playing a hooker. And now the roles I'm auditioning for are like the lawyer who represents the hooker and the judge. So it's sort of come full circle.
That's amazing. I'm gonna have to look up some of these sketches because that sounds hilarious. And I know not all of those get captured in IMDb either because it's like part of a talk show, so they don't really like point out those.
No, but they're on my website. I've got all my clips of hookerness on my website. JulieDolan.com.
Everyone go to it's JulieDolan.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone to check out the full biography, the full IMDb listing. Ashlee had a question for you about Cowboy Bebop because she is. Yeah.
It was both from me and David. We saw that you have Cowboy Bebop in your IMDb, and of course, did you? How did you get involved with that? And did you know Steve Bloom and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn before you joined Rebels, or did you guys record separately?
So I didn't know about Cowboy Bebop until I saw it on my IMDb, and I thought, "The heck is that? I never did anything like that." And then I realized I was dating an actor, and he was a regular on that show, I guess, or he was doing a guest spot or something. And he brought me with him. And he said, "Hey, can my girlfriend say a couple of lines?" And I said, No, I'm cool. And they said, "Sure." So I played some secretary. I had no idea what it was for.
Wow.
And I went out and went, "What did I just do?" I got paid for it. It was like, "Hey, let my girlfriend do something." She's an actress. So, and then it showed up on my IMDb.
I don't even know what episode. I did a search for which episode, what I would have sounded like back then, because we're talking like 1986. I think it was 1986 or 7.
Wow.
I would love to know what I did. I should call him up. Say, hey, you took me to the studio.
Time to rewatch. And that's crazy that all 3 of you ended up working on Rebels and having major roles on Rebels in the future. Like, how wild is that?
Yeah. Well, it's a close-knit family, the voiceover world.
Mhm.
Once you start working, you run into people that are doing multiple different jobs.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
So-
everyone seems to know each other pretty closely. When we were talking to Keone, he was talking about recording with Vanessa. We've had on the show Vanessa Marshall, Taylor Gray, Keone
I
Young,
watched
amazing people, and they all just not only did they work together on Rebels. There's a lot of interconnectivity. You know, recording for like DC shows. There's so many superhero cartoons, and
Mhm.
so you can run the circuit. And sometimes you can recognize someone's voice. I remember when I first met Vanessa, I was like, I know you from Young Justice. Like that's how I was like, you're Black Canary, which she did like 3 episodes of or 4
Wow.
episodes. And I was like, that's how. So when they cast her for Hera, I was like, I know this woman. This is Black Canary, and I was like losing my mind. It's like, no, Young Justice is amazing. And I think that's what happens in voice acting in general. Is like
Right.
people fall in love with the voice of these people, and then we'll follow them from show to show.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You recognized your voice.
It's wild. I mean, I can. And by the way, when I close my eyes, when you're doing the voice, you sound so much like Carrie. It's like
You
scary
do,
sometimes.
yeah.
The specificity is there. The way she pronounced some of her specific letters, she has like a little bit of an edge to the way she pronounces, but yet it also drags in some ways. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not using the right words, but
But she also has such warmth in her tone.
yes,
And compassion, like especially when she's playing Leia, like she could be as snarky as possible and there's still heart behind it, and I think you capture it perfectly.
Mhm. Yeah. You know, when after she passed away, they were doing post-production on The Last Jedi. And they called me and said, we need you to come to Disney and do a couple of lines for her, because we were going to get her to do them. You know, I guess they had to redo some lines or something.
Mhm.
So I went in and met the director and this beautiful big studio with all of these iconic technicians and engineers, and they had me do a couple of different lines, but it was the deeper Carrie voice.
Mhm.
And I said, you know, I did 1 or 2 video games as General Leia,
Mhm.
and I don't really have that deepness. I sound like I'm young Carrie trying to sound older. So we recorded it and they were like, oh, it was great. But they ended up being able to use her voice, her recordings. And then they hired one girl, I don't remember her name, who actually came in and did a couple of lines, who has that natural deep voice. And I remember when I did Disney Infinity 3.0, The Force Awakens, I was sitting in the parking lot and ready to go in. And they texted me and said, oh, by the way, you're not Princess Leia, you're General Leia.
Changes
What?
everything.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? And they said, listen to some current interviews with her, like on talk shows. So I'm sitting in my car waiting to go into the studio, and I'm Googling, different Oprah Winfrey, Carrie, whoever she was on, trying to listen to what she sounded like. And I'm practicing it in my car, and I'm trying to, oh my God. So that's what you saw on the video game. It was
so
me
cool.
trying to sound a little, I was like, I don't know. Okay, for this job, maybe I got away with it, but it's just, that's not in my wheelhouse. If a voice is in your wheelhouse, it's effortless. You just have to change it a little bit. This is crazy. I auditioned to do voice match for Barbara Streisand. Now, I don't do Barbara Streisand. I went to meet, it was for a movie called, with Seth Rogen, The Road Trip, or some kind of, it was a trip that he took with his mom, and The Guilt Trip, that's what it was called. And the director brought me in and brought another girl in. And this girl, she kind of looked like Liza Minnelli. And she said, the director said, so how long have you been doing Barbara? And the girl said, oh, I've been doing Barbara and Judy Garland, and I've been doing Liza Minnelli, and I do a whole show about them. And I thought, oh, she's got it. And she looked at me, how long have you been doing Barbara?
Yeah, about 10 minutes. Yeah.
So they brought me into a little tiny studio and they had me watch the scene. And I did what I do. I said, play the scene over and over. And I'm going to say the words with her. And I'm going to say the words with her. And then take away the scene and I'm going to say the words. So they could record me by myself. Right. And they wanted to, I booked the job like that. And I thought, wow. The director said, she's a caricature voice. She's not an actor. We needed somebody to match the emotion and match how she felt and her pitch and not be a cartoon character on top of it.
Right.
So I went into the studio and I did the whole movie, a lot of her looping, a lot of when her back is turned to the audience or to the camera and they needed to change the line. Barbara had to approve me and she said, she sounds like me, go for it.
Wow.
And it's funny when you're in the studio for 4 hours trying to do this voice and I'm hearing her voice as well because I'm listening to it and then I'll say the line. My voice starts, it falls into this pocket and I can't not sound like her. And the producer came into the studio and thought it was Barbara in the studio. And when I left, it was like I couldn't not sound like I kept talking. Like,
it stays with you. Yeah.
It was a miracle.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I've heard a similar story from both Stephen Stanton and James Arnold Taylor, both of our Obi-Wan Kenobis, who are excellent voice matches for Ewan McGregor. And I believe both of them in some way, shape, or form have ADR'd for him in various projects. They're both, super prolific. And which I hear those jobs pay well, and as much as they can be a little bit of like a long drag, sometimes it's usually one day because ADR is usually a process where the script is done, they know exactly what you need, to come in once and it's over, and then which is nice.
And it's not a lot of dialogue, it's just a couple of lines here and there.
The fixes, exactly, to help pull it all together. That picture that Jeff just flashed of James with the ladies of Leia, he had you guys I think on his podcast or his YouTube show. He's terrific.
Yeah, we had a blast. We talked all things Star Wars, and each of us, he asked us questions about each of our experiences playing Leia. And of course, all of us had different experiences because we all did different shows.
Yeah.
And how we got the job. So it was fun. It was a great time.
I would highly recommend everyone here tune into James's YouTube channel. I was on ages ago when the first signing I did with him. We talked about like revealing his cards and doing some photos for Star Wars Authentics. He was just a fantastic host and good guy and very positive affirmations about all things. Like just finds the good and the light in things, which is wonderful. And I think we need more of that. All fandoms can feel a little toxic sometimes. People get very mad about all things in pop culture, and then someone like James comes in and it's just like love. It's the same thing with like the whole Clone Wars crew, the whole Rebels crew. Like I feel the love when these people enter the room. No one's throwing fisticuffs unless it's fake fighting, like when Sam Witwer wants to debate someone. Like that's and that's fun, and it's about like the knowledge of the show.
Right.
Yeah. There was a point in my career where for acting, I was going to quit. Many times. I mean, that happens to actors. You're like, I'm not booking anything, I'm quitting. And I had started, my mom put me in piano lessons when I was 9. So I played piano. And 2003, my brother, who was a huge influence on my musical career, we started jamming together. He's a drummer. I'm a keyboard player now. I play keyboards now. I was a piano player. Now I play keyboards. And we played Beatles music. We played 60s and mostly Beatles. And there was an audition for an all-girl band for 80s music. And he said, you should audition. And I said, I don't know any 80s music. I play 60s. So I ended up learning some 80s songs and started working with this all-girl band. And I ended up starting my own all-girl band. But our first gig, I ended up booking Gilmore Girls on the same night. And it was a night shoot. So I had to go, Gilmore Girls or my first gig? I'm going to take Gilmore Girls. So I was on Gilmore Girls for 5 episodes.
Wow.
Wow.
5 seasons, like an episode here and there spread out.
Mhm.
And, but I still continued with the bands. I was in 6 bands at one time. Tribute bands, cover bands. I don't write. I play keyboards and sing backup and play harmonica and percussion, things like that. But it's all cover music, all, somebody else's music. And when I moved here to Atlanta, I was like, hi, Sean. Oh, hi. Yeah.
We've
Ragdoll,
not been,
all female Aerosmith. Yeah.
that's
Thank you.
amazing. We've actually not been putting up a lot of the comments because we've been showing your photos.
Oh,
but
no, put
people-
comments up too.
Yeah, we should do that toward the end. Just be like, everyone has said hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I moved to Atlanta and I thought, oh my God, I need to get into a band. I joined this band called Used Groove, and which is like the record. There's grooves, and it's like the same song you play. And it's 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I am in heaven.
That sounds so cool.
All over Atlanta, private parties, different clubs, and it's filling up a lot of my time. And I'm learning lots of music, and I couldn't be happier. And I got a great agent here, and like we mentioned before, I booked Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is on this last season, episode 7, and another show here called The Miss Pat Show, which is on BET. Yeah, there's Tony. And so it's been great. I was afraid to leave LA. I'm born and raised there, and my family's there. My friends are there. I thought my career was there, but it's here now.
Right.
Although
It's
I keep
amazing.
going back to LA. I don't know what I booked Dales right when I got here, and I had to go back to LA twice. And then, of course, Maisel shoots in New York. I feel like all I've been doing here is packing. I get here just packing to go somewhere.
And of course, it's New York, LA, now Atlanta. It really is a hub.
The Hollywood of the South. Yeah.
So many studios
Yeah.
being built here.
That's wild.
We live right down the street from Trilith Studios. And Tyler Perry Studios is
I
not
was gonna
far.
say Tyler Perry is the newest one. You know how many movies he's popping out like franchises. The man is a billionaire, it seems. And yeah, so lots of production coming from that new studio. And then London, which will never stop with between the Star Wars and whatever else. Those 4 locations, you could just be on a plane on a loop like this, like a cruise ship just going. It's wild.
It's on my bucket list to work with Tyler Perry. That's why I'm stalking him here.
He's very funny. Everything he puts out, I realize sometimes we talk about prestige movies, and then I think comedy is the hardest type of movie to do. So if you put out something that I find funny, that's better to me than anything that's going to make me cry. Like, we know it's going to make you cry. Someone dying slowly on camera. Done. Like, but what's going to make you laugh? Like that takes a lot. So I'm a big proponent of all things comedy. I'm also a huge proponent of all things animation. And we talk about it a lot on this show that like animation is always overlooked as a genre and needs to receive more respect than it does. Like I've heard even other Star Wars fans being like, oh, I didn't watch Clone Wars. I didn't watch Rebels. I don't really do cartoons. And I was like,
right.
Oh no.
And I'm like, you're gonna have to now.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. Ahsoka is forcing you.
Yeah.
There's definitely a little bit of pre-reading required, I think, to get ready for Ahsoka. Like you need to know her from the Clone Wars and from Rebels to make it worth it.
Yeah. Oh, this is an Ahsoka top. It's her universe.
Oh, very
Yay.
nice. We love Ashlee. I love that shirt. Love the hope.
I will be wearing this Comic-Con. I'm going to wear this to Comic-Con.
Oh, very nice. People are going to love that. I've got my rainbow design over here for the Virtual
Yeah.
Network.
Got little rainbow earrings.
Yeah. Pride Month was just ended. We're in Wrath Month now, which is very exciting. So, and Ashlee's got her Leia with
This is from Celebration 2019. So
Oh, nice.
it's a little bit of a throwback, but it was like my first celebration, so I had to get it. And
Of course. Oh, of course.
yeah, so somebody asked this in the chat earlier. Have you guys reached out to Vivian Lyra Blair, who plays young Leia in Obi-Wan, at all, or just have you spoken with her?
No, I'm thinking one of our Leia girls did though. Maybe it was Misty. I'm not sure, but no, we haven't connected with her.
Oh,
I
She does a lot of the con circuit too, so
She's on
been
quite the
pretty
tour
busy.
right now. She
Yeah.
is also a literal child, so it's harder to
Yeah.
plan.
It's harder to take her in a bar with us when we
Yes.
go out, you know.
She can't go
Definitely.
see the Aerosmith cover band, I'll tell you that. That's a 16 and over show. So minimum, probably 21 and over, depending on the club. She is delightful, though. A bunch of us got to meet her at, I think was she at Rhode Island Comic Con and Celebration? I
No, she
lose
was at
track of who was
Celebration.
where.
Yeah,
So,
but she will be at Fan Expo Boston
yeah,
next month. So
very nice. With
Yeah,
that in
that's
mind,
why they want Leia, that Leia, as
yeah,
opposed to the five of us, which I totally get. She's current, she's live action, and you know she's on a show that people are watching now.
mhm,
You know, so of course they're going to have somebody like her as opposed
mhm.
to us old people.
And you gotta strike while the iron's hot, you know.
Of
With
course, yeah.
with that in mind,
Mhm.
do you? I love this, by the way, the Hoth look. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite movie, along with Rogue One, I think.
Mm,
yes.
good choices. I would. I know you said you did a little bit of recording and it didn't quite make it in, but Last Jedi is actually my favorite, or I think the best, uh, and then Return of the Jedi because I love me some Ewoks. That's what brought me into the saga. That was my childhood
Yeah.
movie was Return of the Jedi. So, but I love Last
Oh,
Jedi. Yeah.
well, Kevin, who played one of the Ewoks, is a friend of mine.
Oh, terrific. He is a huge friend of the channel, Kev. Right
I
there
think
you
he
go. Yep.
was.
We have had him on our Thursday night watch along.
That is so
Kevin
cool.
Thompson. Yeah, I know he's a ham. He's very friendly. If you and anyone who's in this chat knows, he's been on our shows. We brought him into Boonty Eve, which is the event we did the night before Celebration in London this past year or the year before. I lose track of which one it was. I think it was the one in Anaheim. But he's good people. I love that all the Star Wars people know each other. And some of them have like legit friendships, like the way you have with all the other ladies. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up next, whether it's convention wise or projects? I know you mentioned San Diego Comic Con. We will be on the
Comic-Con.
lookout, you and
Yeah.
Shelby. I will find you guys there for sure, and we'll get a picture.
Yeah. Oh, please. Well, I have a lot of gigs coming up, that's for sure.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I can say this.
Don't break any news that'll break
yeah.
an NDA, but
Well, I mean, it's already been advertised when it's coming out, and people are already saying they're in it. So, you know, I did Final Fantasy VII, the remake, which you
very nice.
saw in
Yeah.
the video.
Very
They
cool.
have Rebirth coming out in 2024. And so I reprise my role as Elmira Gainsborough, which is Aerith's mom.
Oh, very
So
nice.
Very cool.
it was supposed to come out earlier, but they pushed it again.
Yeah, the video game industry seems to be taking longer to develop than ever before. I joke
Yeah.
that sometimes a game starts and the platform has already died by the time it finished, like because games are so complicated now.
Yeah.
Remember when it was just like 2D side scrollers and pinball and stuff, and now it's like a full-on theatrical
Movie.
production, which is wild. I'm glad, by the way, it's a cool way to. I would love to work on video game voiceover. I am not qualified to do such a thing, but it sounds like a blast.
You know, that project was interesting because it was in I dubbed they did it in Japanese.
Mhm.
And then when they brought it over here, and we translated it into English, her mouth was wiped out. I was watching, you know, the copy of it or the movie of it, and I said, "Oh, am I just going to match her mouth?" No, you're not going to see her mouth. So you have to match when she puts her arm on the table. That's when you say this line. And I was like, this is technical because I have no reference. So I have to act on top of it, and I have to hit my words when she puts her arms like this or puts her hands on her hips. That's when you have to end this word. So they had to fit my recording into the mouth that they drew for the English version. It's crazy what they have to do. And these guys are brilliant. They're amazing. These, you know, artists and animators.
Yeah, it's an incredibly, I heard, tedious production to do video game voiceover. But I feel like games now really feel like their own, not even a movie, it's like a mini series. I've been watching Jedi Fallen Order because
Yes,
I'm a
same.
terrible gamer. And so I'll go on Twitch or I'll look on YouTube and I'm watching the story play out and I'm like, this is a masterpiece. And then never mind the
Right.
gameplay. I'm just watching the cutscenes
Yeah.
and all the
Right.
actors who got into
Right.
mocap and like did this thing. So Misty, I'm sure, has talked frequently about being on Battlefront and like
Yeah.
physically playing Leia in a mocap suit while then doing the voice and everything. It's wild. Um,
Yeah.
it's incredible what we can do now with the technology. But I'm
Yeah.
glad that we have real life people, though, not like an AI or something, keeping Princess Leia alive,
Yes.
keeping Leia alive, and Carrie alive in you
Yeah.
and Shelby and Misty and Kat and Anna.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is, I forget what magazine this was from, but I know that there was a pretty broad feature on like, oh, there we go, Star Wars
Yeah, I
Insider.
have that
Yeah.
one. It's such a good issue, and it's fascinating. It just it allows all of you to give tribute to Carrie in your own little ways, and it's such a tight knit community, and it's just fantastic article. Make sure you
Yeah.
guys go online, or if you have that issue of Star Wars Insider, check that out.
Yeah, that was what an honor that was to be involved in that magazine. It was so amazing when they called us, and the fact that they called all five of us,
Yeah.
it just bonded us together even more.
Yeah. When I said Lady Leia to a few other people at one point, they immediately knew who I was talking about. So I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think people forget sometimes that Anna Graves is a Lady of Leia as well because like people know her so well from being Satine.
Right.
And Kat Tabor, of course, is Padme, but you ladies have
Right.
all performed her at various stages. So
Yes.
yeah, it's very, very cool. Um,
Yes.
we had one other question in the chat, and then I know we're already over time, and I don't want to keep you too
Oh,
long.
okay.
Right.
You have the Ms. Pat Show, the Marvelous Ms. Maisel, and Amy all coming up in 2023. So, oh, and Angel, a TV series. So these are all upcoming.
Well, actually,
Anything that? Oh,
Angel is on BET now.
okay.
The Miss Patch, Marvelous Maisel is on now. The Miss Pat Show. Now, let me tell you about that. We filmed that last year, and it's season 2, I think. Season 3. Episode 10 is mine. On February 23rd, they said, we're releasing episode 3. And I thought, oh, great. I'll be able to watch it. I'll be able to grab some footage for my demo. I'll be able to post some stuff. And so at midnight, I watched my episode and said, oh, that's great. I'm going to get some stuff tomorrow morning. And as soon as I signed on in the morning, this episode is not available. And of course, as an actor, you go, oh, what did I do? Oh my God, they're writing me out, just insecure. And it turns out it's because it's a Christmas episode. They're going to wait till December.
Oh my goodness.
Release all 9 episodes, and the one and people were complaining on Twitter. What happened to episode 10? Why can't I watch it? So Miss Pat, who's a comedian, got on and said, okay, I know you all are wondering why episode 10 isn't on, but it's obvious. Look at the promo shot. We're all in Christmas outfits. So we'll see it eventually. So it'll be on probably at Christmas.
Okay, we'll be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to point out, I watched Welcome to Chippendales. That show was wild. I see you're in one episode. Damn, was that a bizarre, crazy show? I couldn't believe that it was true. And I thought everyone did a really good job making this insane, like really tragic story,
Yeah.
ridiculous and fun and exciting and enthralling, and like I was blown away. So I don't. I wish we had time to talk about all of these different things, but was that as fun as
fun.
like
Yeah.
as I hope it would have been?
It what?
Was it? Oh, was it as fun as I hope that it would have been? Yeah.
More fun. Yes, we have so much to talk about, and at a time. Next
I
time.
know. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We'll bring you back.
You're always welcome back. That's
And you know what we'll do with the Daughters of the Galaxy show? At some point, all the ladies of Leia, we've got to have all you guys on.
yeah, that would be amazing.
We're in the midst of this thing we're calling the Summer of Snips, which is our countdown to the Ahsoka show that's coming in August. So we're going through some major characters and talking about them, but we haven't started doing any interviews on Daughters of the Galaxy, but that will be coming in the fall, and it'd be amazing to get a bunch of you guys together. So
Yeah, that would be great.
we'll be in touch for sure. But
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us, Julie.
Oh,
You're
Yeah, thank
a delight,
you.
a pleasure.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you here. Everyone, go to juliedolan.com to check out the IMDb, the missing hooker pieces from that, all the hookers you played,
Yes.
and more importantly, the tour dates. We want to see you perform your live music, the Aerosmith band. Get a look at all of her reels. Check out all of the Star Wars stuff, and of course, follow her on Instagram. That is our preferred social media channel as well. We are all
Yes.
sort of exiting Twitter. It was
Yes.
my favorite, and now
Bye-bye.
it is not.
Me
I
too.
will be threading very soon. We're going to be getting set up on Threads. Obviously, we're going to do. We'll watch Princess Leia at some point on this channel. Check out Julie's episode of Rebels. Princess Leia. It's amazing, and her other work as well.
Thank you.
And be on the lookout for Julie at San Diego Comic-Con
Yeah.
in a week or so. It's about a week
Yeah.
away. It's crazy. I can't. I'm
You guys are
dying.
gonna have the best time. I'm so excited for you too.
It's gonna
I'm
be a
gonna
great
live
time.
vicariously through you
Yes,
both.
we'll be posting everything.
We'll take a picture for you.
Yes, that'd be
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Yes, thank
Um,
you so much for hanging out.
yes,
Oh,
thank
you're
you so
welcome. Thank you
much.
for having me.
All right, we're gonna do our sign off, and I'm gonna let Julie take us out tonight, and wish everyone well.
Well, let me get into my Leia voice, and
Yes.
this is what I practiced when I tried to get into the Leia voice, or when I did get into the Leia voice. I would say, General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars, and now he begs you to help him. That speech. So
Yeah.
I would start with General Kenobi, and years ago you said, and okay, now I got it. So, may the Force be with you. Let me try that again. May the Force be with you.
Amazing. Thank you, Julie. Good night, everyone. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for joining
Julie.
us.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Mwah.